And we'll get started. Good afternoon. Welcome. This is our final CLNA for Region H, but not the end of the work. This is just to get us ready for our final application, working to get a great application entered. We've been doing this since, I think I met with Alamogordo in October, all of Region H through December. We've had pulled meetings last week. So we're going to take everything that we've done together. We're going to put it all in one little pile and let's get applications ready. Hopefully they open in March. Fingers crossed, if not April. Don't know the exact date. Okay. Representing Region H, we've got 8 high schools: Alamogordo, Capitan Carrizoso, Cloudcroft, Corona Hondo, Ruidoso, and Tularosa. We've got 2 pipeline community colleges in which you're going to see some really good information that's going to be coming from the 2. Eastern New Mexico University based here in Ruidoso, New Mexico State University based out of Alamogordo. And running the whole region as a regional education center, REC 9. And Brian Dooley is present. He is the director. So he knows most about this region. While way more than me, he's been here a heck of a lot longer. I'm just learning. So this is who should be here and representing the region. At minimum, a CTE director and hopefully somebody from finance. Well, why does this thing keep popping up? I'm sorry, guys. The agenda is what it looks like. So we got to get Nicole in there. We've got introductions, which is going to come up, and it's a little activity. I want to know more information about individuals. Who are you representing? And there's one basic question. If you are hybrid, who means we're here in the room, you were emailed links. I think we're going to have to get you yours, John. We'll go through goals for what we want to accomplish today to submit a high quality application. We'll talk about regional priorities, which I've discussed with most of the LEAs and the pulled entities together already. We'll talk about exploring our programs of study. What we've got in place, do they align to our priorities? And do they fit our students' needs? Okay. After that, we're going to go to a set collective goal for the program. This will be a breakout session with the 3 types of entities: the next-gen entity, Perkins, and the non-pulled entities. Okay. After that, we'll share out. So as we get into the breakout rooms, I'll ask for an individual, not a facilitator that's in the room. That means no CCRB or PED personnel sharing out. So it would be somebody else. Then we'll talk about other resources, links that you can talk or look for things that we talked about today, and then some other basic information. Trainings coming up and all that fun stuff. So let's get to work. First thing we're going to do, if you've got your, and I believe somebody from CCRB, I believe it will be Denise, will enter into the chat box, open up the Padlet. There are 3 questions. In Padlet, your name, who you represent, and within the first 2, please tell me if I have most of your email addresses. Some of you I probably don't. Please insert them so that when I start making more of a contact list, you're added to that contact list. What would you like to learn and or contribute to our session today? So if you'll open up your Padlet, this is where you'll submit all your answers. Okay. I'll open the Padlet so we can watch as it's going through. And this shouldn't take more than 5 to 7 minutes. So as you enter Padlet, just hit the plus sign, enter your name, your information, and then what would you like to learn? Hit the plus sign, enter a comment. And yes, we're all sitting here watching you work too.
On the Zoom, we're not seeing that.
Oh, you know why? I didn't share the one screen. Well, actually, they can though. This is for here, because on the Zoom, they can each watch each other's.
All right.
Are you misspelling your own name?
You know, it's a word, you know. I'm gonna spell it when I type it.
Yes, I am seeing some names that I haven't seen. Kathy Barella, Carrizoso High School. Hi, Kathy. Nice to meet you. Jeremy. Melissa. Jeremy.
Laugh because I just wrote fantastic, and it says right. Oh,
However you want. That must be you.
It's not actually.
What?
So there's another.
There's
me too. All right.
another newbie. Right on.
Together. I mean that in the best way possible.
Cool. Well, we do have a couple of new people that I haven't met before. I wonder who put number 3. Oops. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, I think we've got a good fill in there. So I'm going to minimize this for us. So just to let everybody know on Zoom, in the house that is present here. Okay. We've got Brian Dooley. Right? Say hello. They're over there. He is the director of REC9. We've got Carla, who is the wind energy team type.
Just one of the people on.
One of the people on the team. We've got John Rocker. He is from Eastern New Mexico University, Ruidoso. He's the one that excited me last week about wind and clean energy coming to Eastern New Mexico University. Big saving in the heart. April, who is the new principal at Alamogordo High School.
Assistant principal.
Oh, assistant principal, Alamogordo High School. And most of us know Manny Clausen, a woman of many, many talents. And I'm dead serious. In the back of the room, we've got our newest CTE director, Eric. He's kind of hidden back there. And then me, of course, sorry, John Gabaldon. There he is. So we do have some really good questions in there already, and pretty much a lot of them are surrounding the wind technology, which is a great help to me, because with your help, we can help REC9 and all of our schools really get into our wind technology clean energy systems. I saw some about electrical, a few about nursing. We've got some good stuff coming up for that as well. Cybersecurity was another one of the questions that I saw in there. I didn't really get into them. I saw the ones that really popped out at me and got me a little excited. So moving on. CTE is secondary. Kind of what we're going to be looking at and who should be represented in the CLNAs. But this is also who should be represented within your advisory board teams. And I know reading through the elements from what I've seen, what I've read from everyone that has returned, your advisory teams seem pretty full. Please make sure that you've got obviously secondary, post-secondary represented, workforce development boards represented, local businesses, industry, parents, students, at-risk populations, which we all know Yazi Martinez really wants us to focus in on that. Indian tribes or tribal organizations, if you're capable of doing it. I know there are many schools that sometimes don't have that opportunity. Here in Ruidoso, we do have the Nascalero tribe. But again, who should be here and who should be part of your advisory boards? Simple little norms about when we break out into our sessions and as we continue through this. Ground statements and evidence. I mean, you're going to have questions that somebody else might be able to answer. When you do have something to back it if you're absolutely sure. Just be strong about that. Focus conversations on regional priorities. And the nice thing about this region, we've only got 2 priorities, and they're strong priorities, really good, strong priorities. Seek to listen, understand diverse perspectives. Have that ability to listen, not hear, and I've been taught about that many times. Listen, not hear. Maintain emphasis on student, college, and career readiness. We're here for the students. We're not here for the teachers specifically. We're not here for admin. Students, community. We build strong students, we build a strong community. That's what we're here to do. This is, and I'll go into this, but this is one of my favorite little icons. 2 heads put together, different ideas can come up with one strong, good idea. 3 heads more, 4 heads, obviously, the more we get in there, the stronger the idea comes and set more in concrete. And we can back it, follow it, pursue it, reevaluate it, and fix it. Andrew Carnegie, one of the big time teamwork persons. Teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common vision, the ability to direct individual accomplishments toward organizational objectives. Why we're here. It is the fuel that allows common people to attain common results. I believe it was one of my teammates that found that. And I stole it from her. I believe it was Melissa. I'm not positive 100%, but I believe it was Melissa. Come on. Okay, so here we go. Why are we here? Our goal. To collaborate with each other in order to complete a quality application that aligns with and builds strong programs of study. That is our primary goal. Okay. That's what we're obviously not going to walk out right now ready to do the application complete. 100% in strength. But we're about there. Why? The CLNA shall include a description of how the CTE programs offered are aligned to state, regional, tribal, or local in-demand industry for sectors, occupations identified by the state workforce development. This is law. This comes from Perkins. This is why we have to meet. This is why the CLNA is such an important thing to happen. We want to make sure that those programs of study that we are using align to what the region needs. And why? Because we want the money. We want to fill our piggy banks up, but we want to do it right. We want to have good applications. We want to have good directions. And we want to have insight that our teachers need to teach our students so that our communities get the kickbacks. Okay? So in order to receive the funding, programs must align to regional priorities set forth through the LMI, which all of you have received your LMIs, and the CLNA, which is what we are doing right now. Okay? That's how we get our money. The readiness, and again, might have to move that, huh? Because we can't see the titles clearly. But anyway, 6 things that we want to address. Performance on a federal accountability indicators, going back to the LMIs. Alignment to labor market needs and regional developments, again, referring to our LMI. Consider the size, scope, and quality of the programs offered. This was a big one. This came up in several meetings. So we'll be talking about that one a little bit more, a little bit later. Progress towards implementing programs of study, recruitment, retention, and training of teachers. Huge one that came up in meetings in the past. We'll be discussing that one again later. And progress towards improving access to equity. The one thing that I've read about and did data for Region H, which was awesome, the equity level, the allowability for all students to enter any program, amazing. Well balanced in this region, well balanced. As a matter of fact, referring to this one, and I don't know if we have anybody on from Hondo. Do we?
Yes.
Who's on?
Jeremy Martin.
Oh, Jeremy.
Hi.
Hey, Jeremy, would you mind telling us and you told me in your 6 elements, tell everybody what the big thing that happened, I believe it was 2 years ago, with 2 of your students.
Well, 2 years ago, I was different role. I was a teacher in special ed, so I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I'll tell you then. Hondo had 2 of the first female Indian American climb the tower, stand the tower at Mesalands. Huge. When you talk about diversity and we talk about demographics for this region to promote that is huge. What we've got to do now is push it even further than that and get more up in that tower, get more trained. Because we know how big wind energy is coming out. It's huge. Okay? So again, access to equity, you guys are nailing it. Love it, you're nailing it. Perkins, now, as I talk about Perkins, understand and remember that Next Gen is climbing on the back of Perkins. So whatever's required for Perkins is required for Next Gen. So we start with our CLNA. Okay, we do this biannually. That's where we're starting now for the next 2-year cycle. As well as that, as you receive this, or when we go into the application cycle, which I hope, again, I was talking about this earlier, I hope at least by April 1st, and no, that's not a fool's day, it's our day, applications will be open. Annual performance reports. First half was already open. And let's understand this, and we all need to understand this. This is an LEA requirement. And not just a pulled, not just a non-pulled. Every school, every LEA that receives funds, Next Gen or Perkins, must complete their APR. That is required. Encumbrances, RFRs, bars, and I should have put buffs in here as well. Ongoing. Matter of fact, you've all received your final letter. Let's start rolling those buffs. Let's start getting those bars in for any increments that you received in the final so we can start spending that money. Start sending me RFRs. I want to start seeing RFRs come across my desk. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. But that's a big one. Let's get that money spent. And then redistribution. So at the end of the year, whatever funds weren't used, get recycled and redistributed. These ones, this one here, it is mandatory. Okay. Now, when the second half of our APR is going to open, I'm not sure. I cannot give you a positive date. I don't know. Okay. What we are looking for now, we've determined our regional funding priorities. We know what those are. And we're going to go through them again. Building a strong, high quality application is why we're here. Determining what programs of studies to implement in the consortium and or individual LEAs. Most of us have already done that. What we need to do is clean it up, move it forward. If we are looking to implement a new program of study, this is when we want to talk about how we're going to do that, the strategies of getting students into that class, the strategies of getting industry involved, so that when it's put into the application, you've got something strong to go with. Okay? So again, our two priorities in this region, skilled construction trades, okay, which covers a lot. And I mean, it's almost an open realm. It's like taking that rose, watching it bloom. When it's at its maximum, you haven't even hit all of them. Healthcare, several parts of healthcare. You got primary care, secondary care, and tertiary care. It covers all of it. The one thing that I haven't shown this region is the health sciences industry report back. I'll be showing you that today, a little bit later. But we have seen a little bit more of what skilled construction trades industry gave back to the state. But we'll be reviewing that again. This is, and we talked about this last week with some of you haven't seen this. So the 6 elements homework. This is a basic recap and grabbing everything that I saw that really captured me. That captured all the schools that sent me back. Where we were strong in the region. Continued exploration through our pooled funding. Okay? Now that just doesn't resound only in the pool, because I know that the 2 LEAs that are not are just as strong with their career exploration. Pooled access gives input through Consortium Equity Council, which provides a voice to all underserved populations. Again, we're referring to the Osmore-Kings, which in this state, you know, is huge. Where we need improvement, and I believe every school is going to say, yep. Improve partnerships with post-secondaries. We need more work with dual credit. Every school that I sat with in September, October, and December, think about how many dual credits we have per student, or per LEA, I'm sorry. We need to improve that number, if we can. But we've got 2 great pipelines for that now. Challenges the turnover in school staff. This is monstrous. Retaining teachers, having to retrain teachers, having to resend them to school and spend more funds to get that class implemented back is expensive and it's time consuming. Not to mention, we lose a year of that program. And I know that personally because I've seen it too many times. Continue to struggle because of competition for students in different programs of study. Okay. And we talked about this last week too. And I know I'm Gordon Tolarosa, you haven't seen this yet. It seems that our schools, especially the smaller schools, offer so many electives that the students don't know where to go. It might be time now to really streamline those electives. Hey, let's start streamlining so we can ensure that our programs of study that we're adopting are filling up with our students that are really interested in that program. And then build on work-based learning and internship opportunities and certificates. And again, this comes, and I'll talk about this later, you'll see a slide on. We've got 2 great community colleges that offer several certificates in your priorities. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Got a good slide for that one. So now there's where our strengths are. There's where we may need to work. Okay, I don't know why this thing keeps popping back up, guys. Excuse me. Current classes being offered. Right now in Region H, this is a list of every class being offered. Or I shouldn't say class, program of study. Okay. We've got agricultural case engineering. And that comes out of the ag department. Their star codes and the title of the class. Now, this isn't a description of the class. I know a little bit about CASE. Chase knows all about CASE because Chase is CASE. One of the big things that I've seen using the welding, and I'm thinking probably more for sheet manufacturing, sheet metal fabrication, all that fun stuff, power structural and technical systems. And that's where they're using for welding, which isn't bad. I like it. It's great. It's a great pathway. We need to start getting this a little bit stronger. The pathway is great. Another one being used out of welding is manufacturing. Again, what I've seen is welding and welding 2. Precision. And here's something I'm working towards. You know, we give a lot of precision tests, identifying what precision test is being given, because there are a lot of them. So if we're giving it for welding, are we giving it for engineering? Are we giving it for nursing? Right now, we're just a blanket statement. Hey, we're giving the precision test. We don't know which test. Okay, so that does count, but we don't know where it's counting. Then we get into the health sciences with Biomed, Project Lead the Way. Cybersecurity and programming, Project Lead the Way. Engineering, Project Lead the Way, my favorite. Yes, I'm biased that way. Just a little bit. Come on, Manny. And then we've got the clean energy. And last week we had a really good conversation about this. SREB does have a good curriculum for it. They've got a lot of math included, a lot of science included. We just need to get students in that class. That's kind of what we're going to be looking at right now. And I know it's a little hard to see. It's a lot of information. I didn't want to take up the whole page and kind of destroy everything that was going on. But again, this is welding. This is the power structural and technical systems. The numbers are tearing it up. 3-year cycle. Look at the numbers. Region H isn't a gigantic region. I mean, it's a huge region, but not a lot of schools, and the schools aren't very big. So to see these numbers in welding, darn awesome. Where we need to see better numbers are the last parts, the work-based learning, the internships, the dual credit, certificates, all that fun stuff. That's where we got to strengthen this. Any questions on this one? Yippee. We go on. Clean energy. Okay. This is where John jumped in last week and really just got me all excited. Not the prettiest picture to see, but I believe we've already got strategies in place. The conversation opened. It's taking a big step forward. And I can't wait to pull numbers next year and see how those almost triple or even quadruple. Okay, but this was a worrisome slide. We look at, what do I got up here now? Health sciences for Project Lead the Way, Biomed. Good numbers, really good numbers, good participation in students. We just got to get that 4th level, the capstone. Now, they might be using a different capstone. Don't know. We look at cybersecurity, again, good numbers. But again, these are good classes. Well-designed, well-structured, good teachers now that have been put into them. Engineering, again, for one school running this, good numbers. Okay. And again, just to let you guys know, POE is not a required, it is kind of a type of an introduction sophomore level class. Might not see the numbers there, they might jump over and go right into digital electronics.
Well, if that is
Mhm.
then this is the 2nd year that we actually offered.
There you
it,
go.
So that's why the program hasn't.
Yeah, because if you look at this year, those numbers, these 40 are, they're just going to keep filtering down.
Yeah. So some of those classes is the first year that we've actually offered it.
See, and that what Manuela just said is probably a really good picture for a lot of our schools. We didn't have a teacher trained yet, which is extremely acceptable because we went through COVID. We couldn't send teachers to training that year, that summer. Even the following summer, a lot of it was hybrid, and it was hard to get teachers to go to trainings. So You're right, Manny. That's a tough one. And that's a tough one for anybody right now.
Can I ask you-
Oh, sure, shoot.
Are the numbers we're seeing based on the schools in the district that worked with and received funding? Or that
Yes.
all the schools, maybe all of them did receive funding?
Okay.
I'm just trying to clarify that.
Okay, John, no, great. So what we're looking at, these are programs that are funded by NextGen and Perkins. And by that, we're hoping to see great student population, like this one, Case. Okay, he's got great numbers. But if he's running Case, we need to get those here. And you did send me that, and I opened it. I was so busy.
Oh, no.
Case,
I'm sorry that it was slow.
I read it and I was like, okay, I'll mess with this when I talk to him. So me and you will sit and talk about that.
That's fine.
But again, Chase has good numbers. Again, Tularosa is not a gigantic school. They don't have a lot of kids. So those are the classes being funded by Perkins and NextGen. Okay. Good numbers. Can we get more? Yes, I think. But again, that's on each LEA. Okay. One of the things that I've always said, the administrators have the pulse of the teacher has the pulse of the student, the community should know what that pulse is and what they need and be driving that. Okay. So this is big time. We need to get industry involved. So when we look at, this is Eastern New Mexico's offerings. Okay, what is in red are the ones that align to our priorities and our programs of study. Emergency medical tech, information tech systems, cybersecurity specifically, wind energy, which, John, yeah, oh, sorry, and clean energy. I'm hoping they can tie that all into something. They've got pre-engineering and pre-nursing that tie into our programs of study, or your programs of study. Okay. And that works for the region. We look at NMSU Alamogordo, they've got quite a bit. Allied health, bioequipment, engineering technology, environmental science, healthcare, nursing, renewable energy, I don't know why there's twice. Oh, there one's a certificate. Solar energy, which ties into clean energy, surgical technology, and welding. So NMSU Alamogordo offers a lot, though not only the welding, but they get the welding certificates. And if we think about where they're located, they're not that far away. Okay. Eastern New Mexico, basically the hub of Region H. These two pipelines we need to start utilizing a lot more. The region needs to start utilizing a lot more. They've got a lot to offer. Let's put it on and let's get that communication. Let's open those doors. Do a lot of talking. Those are our two big pipelines. Okay. I can't read through Denise's head there. Skilled trades, health sciences. So what we're going to talk about now is industry feedback. Okay, now most of you have already seen the next slide, which is on skilled trades. There are three main categories for what they wanted to see a student coming out of high school or going into industry. Specific skills or trades. Be specific in what you want to do. If you want to be an electrician, have some electrical background. If you want to be a carpenter, have some knowledge in that. Okay? Know your math, know your science. Employability skills, rampant across the state. Not only in this industry, in all of them. We've got, again, employability skills. Why it was twice, but that's what we took from this. Attitude and personal characteristics. I've got a great next slide to help us understand a little bit more about this after the next industry. The certificates they're looking for, first aid, CPR, and OSHA, and Denise helped me with this, OSHA, is it OSHA 10?
John, it could be OSHA 10 or OSHA 30. And just to plug out, last year, professional development was offered to the state for instructors to get the credentials to teach these courses. So, so we saw an increase for the state this year.
Awesome, thank you. Okay. Health sciences. Need for qualified applicants, more career exploration, and education in various jobs. Basic skills knowledge, video interviews, and I'll talk about what each of these bullets mean, and summer internship programs, collaboration with schools to provide better support. When we talk about what science industry or health science talked about, they want students to be aware of different occupations within the health, so that they're not thinking that they're just stuck. Again, as they did with skills trades, basic math knowledge, reading, writing, and skills that need to be applied within the industry. Again, employability, especially in health science, probably a personality of being open and friendly. Collaboration with the schools. Again, it's hard to find those teachers. Maybe we can get more interviews, more video type chats. Let's figure ways out to open those doors.
John,
Yes,
can I say that this year Workforce is going to offer the Market to You Rocket, if anybody's familiar with that.
Say that again.
Market to You Rocket is from the Workforce. They are putting this together. We did this 2 years ago prior to, like, right before we hit COVID. And basically what we did was we asked our community to volunteer their time, an hour, 2 hours, whatever. And they were mock interviews that we
Oh, wow.
did at the high school. And I pretty much said every junior and senior is going to do this. Now, we did that. So, but after we looked at, the feedback and all that, what we determined was, okay, next year when we do this, and of course COVID hit, was we were going to make every student do it. So 9th, 10th, and 11th, and 12th, so that they could have that experience. So they came in with their resume, they were dressed up, they did a mock interview. We rated them, and the person that was interviewing them gave them feedback so that they would know where they stand, right? And what
Wow.
could they improve. I had some that said, I would hire you right now. And then there were others that said, you knew you were coming to this, you should have just been a little bit more prepared, or, things like that. Positive feedback, right? It's called Market to Your Rocket, and they provide all of the social media that you need, the flyers, you name it, and you sign up for it, and I can send you that information if you want. You can sign up your school on their website and just organize it, and then that publicizes it. I know Las Cruces did a great job. I got to go see how Carrie did ran hers over there. What they did, which I thought was awesome, was they actually had a like a closet where people could come in, or kids could come in and borrow a jacket.
Oh, wow.
And these were clothing that were dry cleaned and donated, for that specific thing. If the kid needed a jacket or a tie, some of them got it ahead of time so that they could dress the part. And they had a bigger room, like twice the size of this, round tables, and the kids could go. It was a rotating station. It was really an awesome, event. Ours was much smaller, but I like the fact that they had the clothing for the kids as well, to give them that sense of, I want to look professional, I want to feel better about myself and look better.
Nice.
So it's an awesome program. That's something that I was very happy to see that they're bringing it back again this year. Even though we're doing our expo virtually this year, I am going to incorporate the Market to You Rocket virtually.
Oh,
year.
nice.
I don't know what it's going to look like, but I mean, we're going to make it happen. So I just thought I'd throw that out there, especially when I see those like you're talking about the video interviews.
Right.
So I wanted to share that information.
Awesome. Well, I wrote that one down. But yes, if you,
I'll send it.
whatever you've got, absolutely send it to me. I'll share it with the team.
And I just sent you one where actually in El Paso, there's going to be a welding competition, and it's going to be sponsored by Chevron and some big companies. I sent you that info so you can share it to your people. And it's free of charge, no, $20 a kid, but it also includes a welding jacket and the certifications and the materials that they're gonna use.
Wow.
To get the kids there. So that's coming up in April. So I just sent you that email.
That's,
right.
wow, thank
All right.
you. That's
Sorry.
awesome.
I'm done.
No, that's relevant to what we're talking about. So, jump off of what Manny was talking about. When we're talking about employability skills, we talk a lot about CTSOs in New Mexico. BPA, strong in this region, 80 students. Obviously, FFA, just a beast, 219 students. TSA coming along, 7, and HOSA with 38. And the reason I bring these ones up, and those of you that run these programs or are involved, they teach leadership. They teach managerial skills. The soft skills, what in TSA I called it professional skills, we call it soft skills. But it's those skills that the students walk away from these CTSOs ready to go to work. And they're doing it as a competitive level. Like Manny was talking about with Mock It Till You Rock It, these kids would probably rock it big time within that because they know a lot about what interviews should look like, how to speak, how to stand, how to talk, how to shake a hand, how not to have their phone, how to dress professionally. Okay? Within these organizations, that's taught. That's automatic. And I know because I've been experienced with all of them. So when we talk employability skills, this is where a lot of your students will learn it without a teacher having to bring in extra supplementary stuff to teach soft skills. Because that can be cumbersome. It can take up time. I know within our engineering program when I was teaching, we did use it. And I'm sure your teachers with Project Lead the Way, every single one of those classes do teamwork building. And that's a huge thing in industry right now, work as a team. And so we can build these up a little bit more. Okay, again, one of the biggest things that we look at, concentrators to completers. We talk about dual credit, work-based learning, and certifications. We're going to take everything that we've just talked about, and we're going to think about what we want to talk about in our breakout sessions. The breakout's going to be about 20 minutes. Within the breakout sessions, there's 5 questions. Okay, they're on a Jamboard. You'll be able to select which room you want to go into. And if you need to jump, leave one room, jump into the next room, see what's going on. Because I know most of our schools are multiple, Next Gen and Perkins, and you need to jump back and forth. Talk about with who's in that room and how they're looking to strategize their application. Okay. So let's get this rocking. Now, you're going to see a CCRB team member probably in just about every single one of these except for the non, and I believe they have a link as well. But within each team, I would like one person, not CCRB, to share out what was discussed within them. Just a quick 2-minute, maybe a 3-minute share out. What was discussed? What were your highlights? And what really spurred the discussion? So we'll click on a link. So go ahead and open up your Jamboards. And I believe they should be put in the chat box. Okay. Click on the link or the room that you want to go to. Within your groups, again, you're going to have the Jamboard. You'll have access to it. You'll be able to see what everybody's talking about. Open up the discussions for that. There are 5, like I said, 5 leading discussion questions within each of the groups. Yes, they're exactly the same. But one's referring to Next Gen Clean Energy, Wind Technology, one's referring to Perkins Welding. And of course, the non-pooled entities, you've got your own programs of study outside of clean energy and welding. And so I'll probably be mingling with you more than anything else. Again, in the chat box, select the Jamboard, the room that you want to go to. We'll have 20 minutes. We'll pull you all back together and we'll have a share out session.
The Jamboard for non-pools is view only. Can somebody change the settings so that we can?
I can do that.
I think they're all set that way, John.
I thought I had changed them. I swear.
Well, I don't know if we talk specifically about Next Gen. We're talking about opportunities for students and getting the pathways there. That's what we're talking about. And
Yes.
oh my goodness, there's a big DC station. I want to go see and stand on it too, or at least look at it. The opportunities that are in your region for this wind technology and the support systems. And what can we do to get students excited about looking at these opportunities or imagining that a lot of the technology that is happening in this region regards to wind is state of the art, only one of its kind. And to me, that's exciting to talk to instructors about, to talk to communities and students about. I think it's a wonderful opportunity to get the conversations. And although we may not be able to, get a workforce there right away, maybe that we can get movement on getting a pipeline started. And that's all I want to say, because they have wonderful things to say, so they can take over now.
Thank you, Denise. You can put your CCRB hat back on. And actually, Denise, what the
I want my
conversation.
hard hat. I want my hard hat on right now.
They'll give us one if we go play in Corona next, or when is it, next Friday? But that was one of the biggest discussions, about getting more students, getting the community involved, getting the truck, its technology. I was looking at pictures of that, the trailer. Wow. And Denise, you were there, and I can't remember who else. Breezy was with us. A lot of what we saw in that classroom, the electronics classroom, goes inside that trailer. And just looking at how much equipment fit in that trailer was amazing, absolutely amazing. So getting that in the students' hands is going to be an exciting part. And I'm really happy about that. That's a big thing. Anybody else from the next gen side want to throw anything else out there that we're missing?
So is the focus for our region, clean energy as an add-on to cyber or to something else
So
that's already in a priority?
Great question.
Past or not?
So no, in the next gen pulled budgets,
Mhm.
which is Corona, Carizoso.
That's just for that, okay.
Yeah, this is that pulled budget.
Okay,
That's the program of study that they chose within skilled trades,
okay.
is
Alright.
clean energy, wind technology. So that's where that's pushing out. Now, you want to jump in with them on that? That's entirely up to you guys. That's something that you want to bring up with.
No, I just thought that was gonna,
Yeah, that's like Perkins.
Yeah.
With Eastern New Mexico, their funding is straight up for welding
Yeah.
and certification. And I'm over it. So there's no other comments from Next Gen? We're good with what we talked about? I can't wait to read the Jamboard. I'm like dead serious. I didn't wait to read the Jamboard. So Perkins 5, who's talking for Eastern New Mexico about welding? Nicole.
I can share a little of what we talked about. We kind of started with some of the rural challenges that are faced in getting students not only certified, but having to travel to industry and finding those industry partners to get students and jobs. And so that kind of dominated the first part of our conversation. I don't know if anyone wants to jump in to elaborate on that. Let me look at the questions again. And kind of being a priority in, both agriculture and then in the basic welding, that most of the students have this, the emphasis of agriculture in terms of their certificate, and but really identifying what the community priority is when there is that difficulty with industry.
Okay. And we were having a conversation with the non-pulled entities. And we were talking about work-based learning and apprenticeships and, how hard it is in the rural to really get that going. And my manager, Alex, brought up a great idea. And I'm going to throw this out there. If somebody wants to throw it on the Jamboard. This is one of the things me and Chase Montes were talking about, is get with industry. Not that they have to be on site or that you have to send your students to them, but have them give your students a project that they would have on site. Like Chase was talking about, what did you call it, Chase?
The gas barrier meters for New Mexico Gas Company.
Okay.
They usually send those, or I know they've sent those to some schools in the past.
Okay. See, And, you know, that's a great process with industry because they'll interview the students. They give them the project, they give them the constraints. And then maybe set aside a day with them where they can come and inspect their welds and see that it is up to standard for industry. But I thought that was a great idea. Instead of having to get our kids, you know, hundreds of miles away to go get a certificate or to get some hands-on training, get industry to help us in a different way. Get them involved somehow, some other way. And I know with Eastern New Mexico's here in Ruidoso and main campus in Portales, they're pretty strong with their welding. So, you know, just a thought, just an idea. I want to think about attacking it from that side. Non-pooled entities. Oh, I'm sorry. Anything else about Perkins 5 and the welding programs? Okay. So from the non-pooled side, I'm going to ask the two entities. I don't think anybody's here from NMSU Alamogordo, right? Anybody on virtual? No? Okay, so I'm going to let Manny and April talk a little bit about what they discussed for their programs of study. I don't know which one of you wants to take control. You're on mic.
I want to give her some practice, April,
Okay.
but you know, and I'll jump in. So you.
Okay, so I'm saying this as someone who is learning. But a lot of the things that are relevant to our area are a lot of the welding, the health occupation, the skilled construction. Sorry, let me bring up another one that I had said. The ag and food, natural resources. We have a lot of community participation in those areas. Manny has done amazing things with this program to really build our partnerships within the community and just trying to get more kids to that point of the internships where they're involved, that we have a lot of partners. We need more kids that are being involved in these internships, both paid and unpaid. And then also building those links with NMSUA to continue that on to where they can go on and have that connection between college and high school as well too. So we have some, but working to try and build more within that tie together from high school to college.
Yeah, and yes,
Okay.
you did awesome. So one of the things that I'm working on this year is really to do a big promo, if you will, and rollout of our internships and apprenticeships and job shadowing opportunities. We've already started with the job shadowing, and we partner with our Ed Rising educator, and they're participating actually in Las Cruces for the upcoming competition. And one of them was a job shadowing opportunity to for any type of industry that they wanted to get into, or well, education wise. So we had some that came to our district office and shadowed like our superintendent. Some, like I worked with another girl that wanted to learn a little bit more about, you know, what I do. And so we took our own people and allowed our own students to job shadow us. They had to do at least a minimum 6 to 8 hours or something like this. They interviewed us. They had the criteria that they had to meet and write a presentation, do a presentation. But this was for them to prepare for this Ed Rising event that's coming up. But with us, we've had that discussion to where I have like our graphics designer person and website person at our district. They're like, Manny, get me 2 interns. I mean, we really need the help. So we're short-staffed in that department. So why not work with the kids that are already in using the Macs or learning the digital design or Adobe, any of those, and get them there. Like our own district has said, we will support you with our own people here. You got Ed Rising kids, then send them to the pre-K and get them their hours there, or work with Zia, you know, across the street, or work with other elementary teachers. Have them to go in there. And then what we want to do is formalize this to where at least the kids, once they complete it, that they can get a certificate of completion from us that shows the number of hours, right? And that they can put that on their resume as well, on top of trying to get them then eventually, because of their age group, we can't really hire them on the spot. But that is something that I know our HR director has said, hey, if that kid is a good one, and I will hire them right out of high school to come and work for us for Alamogordo Public Schools. We'll get them their certification to become an EA or a sub or a whatever. because we're trying to grow our own. And that's just one example, but we want to do that across the board with all of our programs of study. And we have 12 programs of study at our high school.
Yes.
With 4, except for Systems Go, every other one has a 4 course pathway plus but we're working on dual credit for everybody. So let's put it that way. But that's something that it is something that I'm currently working on with partners. I have the entire support of our superintendent and staff in the high school, and I have at least 30 partners already, new ones from our community that are just waiting for kids to come and work for them or go do something with them. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
You're just rocking and rolling.
We'll have to.
Rocking and
Yeah.
rolling.
So thank you. Sorry. Next. Go.
And Chase, what was your highlight?
The highlight, I think that having having programs that are beneficial to kids and coming out of there and having those kids be employable by different places is very important. And I try to work with those kids to make sure that their skill levels are on set. So whenever the employer gets them, that they aren't retraining or having to send them, because most employers do send them off for different certification trainings when they get there, but they have some type of knowledge, common knowledge to work from. And that's kind of where I base my stuff on. Areas of growth, I think for me, and we talked about this, is including more dual credit courses that align with some of the things that are being taught in my classroom. I think that's an area that I could show growth on my stuff, on my end, and I think that'll help out in the future. I didn't know that NMSU had a certificate welding program. I just learned that today, and I would like to see if when my kids are done taking my welding course and they're a junior or senior, that they could leave and go do something like that. So that's nice. Thank you for sharing that, Alamogordo.
Oh, we also have a welding company, I forgot to mention them, but they also have, they will hire our kids if they get certified. They can go, Mr. Jane Wood's husband works there. It's a new welding company in our town.
Nice.
And of course, they want to hire our people, but they want our kids, but they need to be certified. So we're pushing our welding instructor to go to this event in April in El Paso. I spoke with the rep and she said that they are trying to get as many schools involved because this is the first time that they've actually done it on our side of the country. And it's a new initiative. So I sent it to anybody I know. And like I said, you please share it with other people so that they can offer this opportunity to their welding students. So yeah, hopefully we can see you there.
I would like to see that.
At $20 a kid for
That sounds
enrollment.
great.
Yeah.
Did it list what certification they offer?
Yes, and let me see, hold on a second. I just sent that over to John, and because I don't know the lingo for welding, it has the all the material that they're going to use, and then each level, and they can take as many certifications as they want. It is a team-based event, 3 to 5 students per competition. They have a website and it's called Texas. Let's see here. It's called Texas High School Welding Series. And that page itself has the certification events. And once you go in there, it'll tell you that they can earn how many certifications, how many other districts have done this. So again, it's called Texas High School Welding, and I'm sure John can share this.
I'll share it out.
With you guys that are here and everybody else. But I had a nice conversation with this lady, and she says that if it's successful, then they want to continue bringing it, and the kids will have the opportunity to network with big companies so that those companies can tell them what exactly they're looking for and what they need, what direction, what classes to take, what certifications to get, what experience they need, or just hire them as, low entry level type. So.
It'd be nice if we could bring that to New Mexico. And do
Yeah,
that
and so
here.
that's what she said. She's targeting the El Paso area and then New Mexico within a 300 or 400 radius. So.
Okay. Let's see that
As many
even
as we can get.
even within that radius, we can bring schools from the northern side of the state into Los Cruces or wherever that's going to happen.
Mhm.
That would be awesome. That would be great.
Like I literally just got this, on the 15th of February. So that was yesterday.
yesterday.
Yes, yesterday when she sent me this email, and, yeah, so I can't, welding build-off and certification event, that's all I know. So I don't know the other, all the mills and all that.
All the fun stuff.
Yes, all the fun stuff that, yeah, so sorry, I can't answer that.
Any other comments from the breakout rooms? Missing anybody that didn't get to say or missed the share out? Awesome conversations. Like I said, I can't wait to go read the Jamboard to see what actually was thrown there. But moving on, again, those conversations are to help you prepare for the application. If you have not completed your 6 elements, and one of the things me and Chase were sitting down talking about was filling out that my homework is an awesome tool for your application as well, because it'll address a lot of the questions that are going to be coming out of the application anyway. But moving on, we're almost done. This thing. No. Come on. Sorry, guys. It's fighting me. So all the resources and everything that we've talked about, all the program of studies that was online, or that was a link for you guys to open if you needed to do it, description of all the courses, all that stuff, I'll be emailing out to you again tomorrow at some time, because I've got to really wind everything that we've talked about today. But I'll get those out in an email. I'll also send out all the Jamboards and what we did last week with the pulled budgets. So you can see what the comments were, how these discussions were impacted by what we discussed last week. I was going to say last year, it was coming out. But that way you'll be more aware, you'll have links as to where you can go grab stuff. Okay. Big one coming up. And again, I'm thinking this link will go into the chat box, I'm hoping, but we've got Edgar training. It's required. So whether it's a CTE director or the finance person, get registered. It's free for you, not for us. Free for you. Okay.
I'm already registered.
Yeah, I've seen a few of us registered, but it's big time important. Get registered, learn about Edgar, learn about the laws, learn about the rules. We have to. Just saying. But it's Tuesday, March 8th from 9 to 1. 4 1-hour sessions, or 4 1-hour sessions will cover basic federal grant management stuff. So again, if you're in the grant management, this is just going to give you more training for it and understanding how to use it and what to put into it. Where all your applications are going to be put in anyway. Your APRs are in there. Everything. And this is where we pull reports so we can see where you're spending money, how you're spending it. Getting your RFRs tracked so that we know how much you've got left or what you haven't spent, all that fun stuff. And so Edgar training, big one. I would have done this anyway, but Alex sent me the slide, which I like. She makes slides because she makes them pretty. I don't, I just build the slides. If you're looking for a math program geared towards career and technical education, again, and I've talked to all of you about this, is the P2C program, the math program. It is 100% digital now. 100%. We'll customize your training. It's totally free. Here's the fun part. Cloudcroft, and I'm hoping it happened today. I wasn't able to do it. And I know I'm sorry, Breezy. I got the email at 2:30. They're linking P2C to their Canvas so that the ease of integrating this program into their math classes, into their CTE programs is that much easier. Every teacher, every student will have access to it. They'd be able to pick and choose what lessons they want to teach or go through the full gambit and teach all 3 courses, actually all 4 courses. Because algebra, pre-algebra, 8th grade math, algebra 1, geometry, both levels of algebra 2 are complete. They are now, I believe 2 of the books are now in the hands of being highly qualified instructional materials. All 4 of them should be done by May. should be. The only one we're questioning is Algebra 2. But the other three should be HQIM by May. By the state, they're being reviewed right now by learning lists. And that was one of the big questions with every training and every presentation that we've been given. Is this a high quality instructional material? I can now say pre-algebra, algebra 1 and geometry will be by May. Algebra 2 came on late. We're hoping to hit the deadlines. Awesome program. If you want more information, contact me, Breezy Gutierrez at State, or Alexandra Luntz. Yeah. I'll do everything to help you with this. Unless there's anything else, any other comments, anything I missed that you needed to hear, I'm all ears, and I mean it. I'm all antennas. Any questions, concerns? Remember, this isn't the end, guys. This is where we're at right now. We are ready for applications. I'll still be sending out emails. As soon as applications open, I will set up once a week until applications close, a technical assistance hour to help with either you can't get into the ground management system, you can't get into your application. Maybe some help with other things. But I'll be available. I'll open it up as soon as that date comes out that it's open. Of course, you're going to get an email probably from Christian, but I'll back it up and send you the times and the day that I will do for those weeks that the application is open for any help that you need. Just like I did with the APR. All right. So barring any other questions or comments, thank you for your time. I appreciate the conversations. I can't wait to read the Jamboards. Can't wait to talk to my team or the CCRB team because I really want to hear what happened. I really want to hear. But again, thank you. I appreciate your time. Day is yours.
Fred, thanks for